Thank you guys all for tuning in and listening to my podcast. This is going to be the first of many. For all of you guys that are not familiar with my channel or what my content is going to be about, it majority of it is going to be based on veterans programs and also any great programs that are out there for veterans and benefits and all that good stuff. So thank you very much for being here, for being able to be part of this first episode. So today, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about the Mighty Oaks Legacy Program. Just recently came back from the Legacy Program, and I must tell you, it was a really outstanding experience, and I want to talk a little bit about that and let a lot of you guys know about it. Main reason why I'm talking about this is because I think a lot of us want to help out our fellow veterans, especially all of our combat vets out there. And sometimes we just don't have a way of being able to provide them the resources that they need. Luckily for us, I wanted to create this channel just for that same aspect. It's just to ensure that other people are aware of this program and how it really changes lives and helps people. So I'm going to talk a little bit about from the actual application process all the way down to the final outcome or the final aspect of the program and tell you guys a little bit about it. Just understand that a loved one can apply for a veteran or law enforcement personnel. So if you are listening to this and you're a spouse or a loved one, just understand you can apply under their behalf. Just understand that there are certain documents that they do require just to verify that the person in question is who they are. As you guys know, there's a lot of programs out there, and unfortunately there's a lot of people that end up taking advantage of it, and in some cases are not who they say they want to be or who they are. I've heard so many people that have gone through this kind of stuff. So just understand that if you are a veteran, they're going to want a DD-214. And also, if you're law enforcement, they're going to want a letter from your chief of police to ensure that you are who you are. Some cases, they may want some sort of a documentation stating that you are a peace officer. Also understand that this is also available to firefighters and EMTs. So it's not just police officers, it's pretty much for all first responders. So the application process is really easy. Basically, you just go to their website and sign up for it. It's probably one of the first things you'll see in there. Their website is really well detailed. It really explains their programs and what they're all about. Understand this is a nonprofit organization, so it's all based on their donations and what they get from fine folks like yourselves, and also organizations that are wanting to contribute to this. So the application, like I was saying, it's pretty self-explanatory. Usually within 3 to 5 business days, you will get a letter from Mighty Oaks stating that they have received your application and they're processing it. If for some reason at the time of the application you did not submit your substantial documents, they're going to ask you for those. So just understand that. Understand that when you go through this whole process, sometimes it might be 3 or 4 months before they have their next class, and their classes fill up very, very quickly. So the faster you act upon them, the easier and faster you can get in. For me, I was just very fortunate. I got in relatively easy, and I was able to reschedule relatively easy, so it was pretty good. The original first time that I wanted to go, I decided not to, and it was just based on, I have my biases, and also, um, I just didn't think this program was what it was meant to be. I think a lot of us, when you go into a website and it tells you that there's no cost to the veteran, you become a little skeptical. Like, not a lot of people do things for free nowadays, and not many people really care about service members. In some cases, there's always something that's entail. But understand that this program is absolutely free to the veteran and also first responder. So there is nothing else. The hardest thing you have to do is just to commit. Now, what's great about this is that Mighty Oaks has different locations around the country. They have Texas, Virginia, Ohio, other places that they have where they have this legacy program. I happen to be in the state of California, so for me it was only a 2-hour drive from the California location, which is great. I just like the fact that I could drive there, and obviously if I didn't like it, I could just leave. And I'll be honest with you, even to the day that I was getting ready to go, I was skeptical. I was like, I'm hoping that this week-long adventure was not going to be a total waste of my time. Now, when they send you an email and they'll send you a welcome letter, the welcome letter pretty much is very detailed and tells you everything about the program and how it works and how it does everything. So understand that they're going to contact you and verify everything at least 2 or 3 times. And please don't get discouraged or don't get upset about it. In many cases, there's a lot of people that cancel at the last minute, and just understand that everything is provided for you, so they need to make sure that they're not wasting any resources. So for me, the California location was just outside of the city of Santa Maria, which is in the central coast of California. Very beautiful place, guys. It's probably one of the most beautiful areas of California. And California has a lot of great places, but I always feel that the central coast of California is by far one of the most beautiful ones out there. So the actual locations inside of a cattle ranch, a working cattle ranch, and the owner of the facility pretty much built this facility for Mighty Oaks. Very generous person, and it's probably one of the most beautiful places I've been to. It's a Spanish style home. And it was, just really well done. Beautiful place. When you go in there, you're kind of dumbfounded because it's so beautiful, and it's overlooking ridgeline, and you get down at the valley, because it looks like a little valley there. You'll see the city of Santa Maria, and it's very beautiful, man. I must tell you, I think one of the best things about this location is that you're so far from civilization that it really makes you focus on what you're doing there, and it keeps the distractions away. The fact that the cell phone towers don't work all that great, that's also a good thing too, because you're trying to keep all the distractions from the world away at this place. So I really love that facility. It's by far one of the most beautiful places I've been to. I'm actually a native of Guatemala, and it reminds me of some of these haciendas that are out there. They're very beautiful, have the Spanish style architect, and it's just gorgeous. So really enjoyed that. The place where we were staying is off to the west side of the building, and it was kind of interesting because it had like Australian style showers, and it was had a nice little area where you can do your hygiene. And the places where we stayed were like they were similar to like a GP medium tent. If you guys ever been in the military, you know what I'm talking about. But inside they're very nicely done. It's 4 beds to a tent, and they're like really nice tents. They're not like cheapy tents at all, anything like that. They're just very well built. The beds are really comfortable, which is very nice. And it's just a great experience. So one thing I do want to tell you is that the this program is a no nonsense type of program, meaning that they're not going to sugarcoat your issues with PTSD. They're going to tell you how to fix them. They're going to tell you how to improve your well-being, your mental health. But obviously, they do it in a Christian-based type of education, which is something that was missing in my life for quite some time, and it was very refreshing to, hear the Word of God, and I enjoyed that a lot. And so that was great. But a lot of the discussions and a lot of the classes were all very well done. All of the mentors that were there are, some of them are pastors, some of them are, all of them were of some time in the military. There was one of the mentors who was a under sheriff or a 2-star sheriff, for a former a police officer, law enforcement agency. So it was good to have a variety of law enforcement and also military background. We had some mentors. We had one guy that was special forces. He was an Army Ranger. We had a guy that was who's the reason why I ended up going to this program. His name is Luis. He's a former Navy SEAL, and obviously we had some other guys that were in the Army and in the Marine Corps, and so it was just a very good mix of everything. And one thing that I really do like about them is that they're all very, very honest with you. They were very honest and forthright with you, and they told you how things were. Another thing that I really found to be very reassuring is the fact that all of them gave their testimony, good or bad. They talk about their previous problems, and issues that they've had with depression, with alcoholism, with with pornography, with sex, and all kinds of other stuff. So they get down to their very personal level, and it's they really tell you that, hey, you know what, you're not the only one who's going through this, and there's others like us. So when a lot of these guys gave their testimony, it was great. The classes were really made you think, and afterwards, after we did our classes, we had a discussion, and in those discussions, man, it got pretty deep. I'm not gonna lie to you, it got very personal, and in some cases, it made you feel uncomfortable. But I think that the classes really opened up your eyes as to, you're not the only one that's going through a lot of issues, and it just really, really, really helped me, get a better perspective of things in life in general. The classes are long. When they tell you, when you get there, they tell you, look, man, the days are long, and they're not kidding. You're doing 12-hour days of classes and discussions and all kinds of stuff, and they teach you a little bit of Bible study, which I found that to be very awesome. Because honestly, it's not that I didn't like reading the Bible; it's just that I really didn't understand it. And these guys just like broke it down to me like Barney style, like how we like to say in the military. We have a tendency of just like, if we don't understand it, we're not going to take interest in it. So being able to really understand the Bible and God's Word was really reassuring. I really enjoyed that. Something that I was really missing in my life. So it was great, guys. I mean, honestly, all the students, we all came from different backgrounds. We had one of our students was a police officer in Anchorage, Alaska. We had a deputy from Florida Sheriff's Department, and we had 2 guys that were from the Maricopa, Arizona Sheriff's Department. These guys were all retired. And of course, we had a lot of Army and Marine guys in there, a lot of us. I'm telling you, I think that was the majority of us. It was just Marines and Army, and no disrespect to the Navy or anything like that, but we had like 2 guys that are from the Navy. Yeah, we didn't have anybody from the Air Force. No disrespect to the Air Force. I'm just saying. But yeah, it was really cool. I really enjoyed it. Those guys were all cool. It took us a little bit of time to get to know each other, man, because you got to understand, you put a bunch of Taipeis in one place, something's bound to happen, or people are not gonna like each other, or something like that. It's just stuff like that. I mean, it's just human nature. So the fact that we all pretty much got along, we all got to know each other, and it really opened up my eyes that I'm not alone. And that's one of the biggest things that I had going for me, is that I felt like I was all alone. I felt like my issues with survivor's guilt and my issues with the atrocities of war. I thought that was just me, man. I thought that it was I thought it was just me, and I mean, there's no other way for me to put it. But what really opened up my eyes is that, as we started getting ready on our fourth day, is, a lot of people were given the opportunity to give their testimonial. And I'll be honest with you, on the third day, a lot of us were like very hesitant about doing it. Just very, very hesitant, you know. And of course, the instructors and the mentors always told us, look, man, it'd be better for you just to say your testimony, man. Good or bad, just say it out there. Because the worst thing you can do is leave this place and not be able to fully say how you feel, or what you think, or what you're going through, what your pain is, And I think after the third day, when I heard everybody's testimony from the mentors, is when I decided, you know what? There's a reason why I'm here, and there's something that brought me here, so I'm going to do my testimony. On the fourth day, I did my testimony, and it was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life, guys. Having to talk about a lot of stuff. I mean, I can't talk about it here, but I can tell you that I talked about things with these guys that I've never told anybody else, man. Like, being able just to open up and just say, hey, man, this is what I'm going through. This is the issues that I'm dealing with. And, this is how I feel. And, man, just letting it out and just, telling your frustrations and crying about them, and just, just telling yourself that, all the stuff that you've been through. And, I'll be honest with you guys, there's times where I used my survivor's guilt as an excuse to do bad things. And I'm not proud of that. Being able to understand that, hey, you know what, you're not the only one that's gone through this. Others out there are going through the same issues as you are. What really opened up my eyes, guys, is that one of the guys in my group had the same issues I was going through. I mean, it was to the T, guys. I'm telling you, it was crazy, and I think a lot of people, when you are a first sergeant or a platoon sergeant and you lead your men, and the hardest thing I ever had to tell people, like, I think my worst mistake out of all this is that prior to me going on deployment, I saw a lot of these parents who told them that I was going to bring their son home. And when you don't bring their son home, man, that is the hardest thing for you to have to deal with, man. Because that's something you have to deal with for the rest of your life, man. And how do you look them in the eye and tell them, I'm really sorry that I wasn't able to bring your son home? I mean, it crushes you guys. You have no idea how much that crushes you. And being able to tell my frustrations and say what I felt was really good. But then I hear my buddy, and he says the same thing, and it's just crazy how we had so much in common. We had so much things that we both were dealing with, and it was crazy. It was the same thing. It was exactly like his is an Afghanistan story, mine's in an Iraq story, and it's crazy how similar they were, and how helpless you felt afterwards, man. Like how ashamed you felt, because you felt like you lead your man down. When you're a leader, man, and there's just this responsibility that you have that you just you don't. It's really hard when you fail at something, especially when it comes to somebody's life that's involved in all this. That's when it's like it really hits you, man, and it really hit me, and it brought me to tears. Uh, and just being able just to let it out, man. I'm telling you, just let it out was the greatest thing in the world. It was something that, oh my God, it was just like taking this big monkey off my back, guys. Seriously, it was great. It was great that I was able just to let it go and just be myself. And in many ways, I'm happy that I did it. I know it's not an easy thing for a lot of people to have to say, "Hey, I made a mistake," or I'm not as good as I thought I was. And those are things you have to live with, man. So that in itself is one of the things that I enjoy the most. The fifth day was great. One of our mentors is a former Marine Corps colonel, and he's looking at me on the fifth day, and he's like, "Hey, smiley face," and I was like, "Who is he talking to?" I was like, "You." I was like, "Oh, yeah, man. Ever since you got finished with your testimony, man, and you let everything go, it's like you're a different person." I was like, "Wow, I never thought about it that way," and it was good, but at the same time, I was just like, I felt so relieved of being able to tell my testimony and talk about my issues with all this stuff. I'm not going to go too much into the detail of the curriculum because honestly, I think a lot of you guys need to experience that. You need to go through it in order for you to really understand it. So I hope that you guys really end up doing this. So let me talk a little bit about other stuff. Now, not only did they give you a really nice place to be at, to reflect and to have classes where you can talk about your issues and stuff like that, but they actually had a chef that was cooking for us. And all I can tell you is this man got me like 5 pounds fatter than I already am because I'm not used to eating 3 times a day, and this dude fed me 3 times a day. And you can't tell somebody who's brown, "Hey, man, giving you free food," because I'm going to take advantage of it. So it was great. His name was Kenny. Kenny is a man, just fed us really well, took care of us. It had a smile on his face. He's a good dude. Like I was telling you guys about the staff. The staff is all former combat vets or guys that are in the military or guys that are first responders. These guys are all legit, man. I can tell you that they're really reassuring and welcoming. And in reality, guys, you guys got to understand something. They're taking time off to come and help you. And that is precious, man. It really, it's the value of it is, it's not, you can't really discuss the value because it's somebody giving so much of their time and effort to go and help somebody else. I mean, that's just amazing, and I really want to thank those guys. Really want to thank Luis, who I watched his video where he talks about his testimony and he talks about his losing his brothers in Afghanistan. For you guys don't know, Luis is a former senior chief in the Navy SEALs, and great guy, man. I mean, we hit it off. He's a really good dude, man. He's like, I don't know how to really say it, man. Once I got to meet him and understand what he's all about and how his life has changed afterwards, man, it's going to be crazy for you guys. You guys really understand what I'm talking about. I am going to put his link to his video, so if you guys want to check it out, I'm telling you, I would urge you guys to check it out. Check out Mighty Oaks, man. This is a really great program, guys. And in reality, they're doing this out of the goodness of their heart. No, they're not really asking you for money. They're not asking you for anything. But obviously, I'm going to donate to this organization because they did something for me that a lot of other programs in the VA have never done. And that is give me a sense of worth, you know. Nothing wrong with the vet center. There's nothing wrong with some of the PTSD clinics that they have. I think they're all good, but they don't really provide that one-on-one peer program that you really need, you know. And I really think that the government has no clue as to how to take care of that situation. And I'm glad that we have organizations like Mighty Oaks that are able to do that for you. Okay. What I would tell you is that if you have doubts about this program, I would tell you to just try it, man. The hardest thing for you to do is to show up. And it even tell you that on the welcome letter. And yeah, it's the hardest thing to do is just to show up because you don't know what you're going to get out of it or, you know, what's the process of it or is it really worth your time? I would tell you that it's really worth your time. And in some cases, for me, it saved my life. It really has because it's really given me another group of brothers that I know that if I need to call them, that if I need to say, hey man, I need some help, they'll be there for me. You know, I met some really outstanding folks in this organization, and I really just wanted to spread the word about them. Wanted to hear so the others can hear what this program is all about and how they can really help your loved one. If you have a loved one that's going through a tough time right now, I would urge you to check out the website. There's nothing hurts you from checking out the website. Check out the website and see if it's something that you guys want to do. And I can tell you that in most cases, it's worthwhile. It's really life-saving stuff. And I hope that you guys get something out of this. One last thing I do want to add before I go is that Mighty Oaks is probably one of the most giving organizations I've ever been to. They gave me like a bunch of great literature, which is great. And one of the things that I really enjoyed the most that they gave me is that they gave me a Warrior Bible. This Warrior Bible is pretty. It's a lot different than most Bibles because it kind of gives you that type of identity or that type of warrior type of lingo that sometimes is required for you to understand something. And you know, I really do appreciate the fact that they gave me this. You know, they personalize it, so it makes it even more. It just makes it even more personal for me, and I'm really grateful for that. But just the fact that they took me and they've helped me and they really have given me another lease on life. It's really life changing, guys, and that's really all I can tell you. I really hope that you guys get something out of this. You know, I tried not to make it as long as I needed to. I just wanted to tell you guys more about the program and you know, my experiences through this. So I'm hoping that this kind of helps you and it helps others to better see what other programs are out there for veterans, because I think in many cases we tend to forget about the veterans and all the stuff and the ordeals that they sacrificed and they gave for all of us so that we have a free society. I think a lot of people don't stop and think about those things, man. So I'm hoping that a lot of people would change their mind, would start looking at things a little bit differently and can help others. That's pretty much all I got, guys. Like always, God bless you. God bless United States of America. And I'm out.